Folding in devices and tools is nothing new, but there is a distinction to be made in the reason for folding. This DJI drone folds. It does so for convenience and storage. The fact that it folds doesn't contribute to its operation. In order to get it to fold, additional parts, engineering, and ultimately costs were needed. This convenience also causes reduced efficiency from the added weight in terms of flight time. The engineers and designers made these choices with the end user in mind. The Samsung Z Fold 7 also folds, but the difference here is that folding is the function. The folding mechanism makes it possible for the device to act both as a traditional smartphone and a tablet in one footprint. Designing and engineering a modern smartphone is already a challenge. Throw in the limitations and restrictions of a folding mechanism and function, now you're doing serious Hinge-neering. I X-rayed the 7Z Fold and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold to explore the design and engineering choices made by Samsung and Google. Let's take a look at that. The first thing I notice is the difference in how the two phones distribute the total battery package. The Pixel Fold has one very large battery that dominates the second half. The primary half is jam-packed with circuit boards, leaving little room for the battery. The Z Fold seems to balance the distribution of batteries and boards more evenly, spatially speaking. The second thing I notice are the hinges. The Z Fold has a single spine of hinges down the length of the phone. The Pixel Fold seems to have more individual or modular hinges. It'll be interesting to see how that affects repairability. The gaps you see in the X-ray are spaces for the cable ribbons that connect the different components to link the two halves. The presence of the ribbons is the next thing I noticed actually. The Z Fold, with the distribution of circuit boards throughout the entire phone, requires a network of cables and ribbons that go back and forth between the different components. You might have noticed the total lack of magnets on the Z Fold. It is surprising to see this feature missing from a flagship Samsung phone. I looked around online, but I couldn't find a definite answer as to why this is missing. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Now let's put on our tinfoil hats and speculate on the iPhone Fold by looking at the iPhone Air X-ray. All right, so here's the X-ray of the Apple iPhone Air, which we suspect might be one half of the Apple Fold. Right away, this reminds me of Google's approach on their Pixel Fold, given that there is a giant battery footprint. It's nice to see that Apple included the magnet or MagSafe feature in this phone. Part of what enabled Apple to make such a thin phone was the fact that they stacked the boards underneath the camera. This required the excessive camera bump. While this might be an inconvenience for now, it could be a great benefit to the future Apple Fold. The fact that the boards are consolidated here could mean that there's more space for a battery in the second half. Maybe this extra battery could power a much brighter and higher definition screen. Here are some bonus Hinge gifs of the Z Fold and Google Pixel Fold. Okay, that's it for this video. Let us know in the comments what you think and what you would like to see X-rayed next. Thanks for watching.